Listen, the latest production that coming up with Evansville Civic Theatre is a real powerful one. It's called The Laramie Project, and Kevin Roach is the artistic director. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on to talk about it.
When you are planning your season, Kevin, what's your idea? What is your status when you're thinking to balance the heavier drama with the lighthearted? I mean, you're trying to cover all your bases of genre.
We want to kind of mix it up, especially with like alternating dramas and comedies as much as possible. You know, we like to have one show in there that, you know, the older folks might remember from theater days, decades ago, like this year it was Harvey. We like to have a Christmas show that's zany and fun so people can have, you know, a good time. But we always do a classic literature play, which is often a drama. And this one I wanted to do kind of something a little bit heavier, I guess is the right word, to kind of balance everything out. I felt, you know, that a play that was more than just entertainment was long overdue. So, and it wasn't just me, it was a committee of people that decided this. So.
Well, it's a teaching moment as well. We're talking about social justice issues and fairness and prejudice and all of these things, which the Laramie Project is about. Give our audience a summary, if you can.
Basically, the Laramie Project, it's based on actual interviews, so every word you hear in the show was actually spoken by a real person. And this team went and interviewed everybody after a young man named Matthew Shepard was brutally beaten and left for dead, and he did later die simply because he was gay. And that is by the killer's own admission that was why it was done. He was tied to a fence and left to die, and he was beaten so severely he essentially was brain dead by the time he got to the hospital. And this play kind of follows the aftermath of what happened and different people's perspectives from all different backgrounds. And I've had people come to me and say, well, no, I don't want to see this gay play. And I'm like, that's not what it's about. You know, what this show is about is kind of exposing the human condition. My favorite quote that I've heard this year is I had somebody tell me that I come to the theater to be entertained, not to learn a lesson. And to me, that's sad, because what I was always brought up to believe is that theaters should entertain. Of course, we should have those shows that just make us laugh, but we should also have those shows that hold a mirror up to life and make us think, question our own selves and who we are as people.
And theater, I think, uniquely is armed to do that well, because you're in this really intimate space.
Yeah.
And there's, with all of this playing out before you, it becomes sort of a living parable, if you will, of social situations that we're living in. I mean, these are headlines. These are, as they say, ripped from the headline stories.
And this happened in 1998, but it's still happening today. And that's the sad thing. We've come a long way, but we still have a very long way to go. And, you know, organizations like the Matthew Shepard Foundation, which was started by his parents, are working to help that, you know, their foundation. I've actually been in contact with them. I've actually emailed back and forth with people that knew Matt. And it's been such a blessing and such a very humbling experience to talk to these, you know, people, granted just an email, but just to talk to these people. And what they do is through the different outreach programs, they want to help people basically replace the word tolerance with acceptance and learn to respect human dignity and diversity, you know, and show compassion, because that's all this play asks. That's all we want. Is nobody's asking you to walk out and change your belief system, but maybe question how you view other people, because that kind of violence, you know, violence done on somebody because of their sexuality is violence that is making a statement saying, you know, you don't belong here, and we're making you an example of what will happen.
And that's never the answer.
No,
anyway.
It's not at all.
When does the show go up, Kevin?
The show goes up not this weekend, but next weekend, next Friday, the 20th. We are still planning to go as planned, because the governor said organizations with groups of, 250 or more has been banned. Well, we only seat 222 in our house, and we often don't sell to that capacity, so we're still well within that limits. But, you know, your viewers have seen our Facebook page kind of scrolling up there. That is the easiest way to find out, you know, if things change. We're monitoring it very closely. You know, we'll put something up immediately, but we are currently Lysoling the heck out.
All systems go.
Yeah, Lysoling the heck out of that place. We're going to have, you know, every night everything will be wiped down with Lysol wipes, disinfected. We've got hand sanitizer and everything.
You ready?
Yep, we're ready, and we want people to come out and support the arts, and especially a show that is so powerful as this one.
Thank you for doing it.
Oh,
good to see you.
Good to see you.
We'll be back with more Lifestyles right after this.